Good day, everyone. Welcome to Online and Blended Learning in Moodle. This 12-hour course is intended for teachers and instructional designers to help develop their skills and knowledge in online and blended learning. This training underlines the process of preparing and managing an online and blended classroom. In the introduction section, kindly click the page Welcome to the Online and Blended Learning in Moodle below to know more about this course. The general objectives of this course are first, differentiate the online and blended learning, explain the best practices and characteristics of the online learning environment, to use content authoring tools for preparing their lessons, and lastly, to make e-learning more effective. The guidelines for this course are first, participants will be enrolled in the course for a maximum of 4 weeks. There will be 4 webinar sessions for the full discussion and demonstration. At the end of the course, participants will take an assessment. And lastly, before generating the certificate of completion, participants must answer the final course survey. In order for you to earn badges, you must accomplish the activities per module. Once you receive a badge, you and other participants will be able to see the badges you earned in this course from your profile. You will also be able to see it in the latest badges course block. Before accessing Moodle 1 topic, don't forget to introduce yourself. Greet everyone first here in Welcome Batch 1 and introduce yourself by answering the following questions. For our Moodle 1 topic, let me introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Paz H. Diaz. Currently serves as communications consultant, researcher, trainer, case writer, and training materials developer for local and international agencies and for government agencies as well. As a trainer, she develops curricula and conducts training programs on business and technical writing, report writing, feature writing, case writing, and on newsletter development for organizations that need her expertise. She is also an expert and a trainer on communication theory and research on communication planning as well as entrepreneurship development, especially for NGOs. Dr. Diaz finished her PhD in communication from the College of Mass Communication of the University of the Philippines, where she received the award of distinction for her doctoral dissertation. She finished her MA in Communication Research also at the College of Mass Communication of the University of the Philippines, where she received the Best Thesis Award for her thesis in 1993. Dr. Diaz has worked as a consultant and training expert in Australia, Bangladesh, Botswana, and Fiji, and other countries as well. She has traveled to the following countries for training and upgrading of her expertise in leadership and in entrepreneurial development: Austria, Belgium, England, India, Ireland, Japan, Mexico, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and the USA. Her current commitments are with the Girl Scouts of the Philippines, or GSP, as a life member, the Small Enterprises and Research Foundation as a trustee and board secretary, and the Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication as a vice president for academics. Let us welcome again Dr. Paz H. Diaz.
Thank you very much for your very nice introduction. We will begin our session today. The first module is all about the history of online and blended learning, the online learning environment, the blended learning environment, and the benefits and drawbacks of online learning. Okay, in 1999, the phrase e learning was mentioned for the first time in a professional context by Elliot Massey during the TechLearn conference at Disney World. However, the first attempts at e learning can be traced back to 1924 when Ohio State University professor Sidney Pressey created the first electronic learning machine the automatic teacher. In 1954, B.F. Skinner, a Harvard professor, invented the teaching machine, which enabled schools to administer programmed instruction to their students. It wasn't until 1960, however, that the first computer based training program was introduced into the world. This computer based training program, or CBT program, was known as Plato program, Programmed Logic for Automated Teaching Operations. It was originally designed for students attending the University of Illinois, but ended up being used in schools throughout the state. The first online learning systems were really only set up to deliver information to students, but as we entered the 70s, online learning started to become more interactive. In Britain, the Open University started the e learning system of education, primarily focused on learning at a distance. In the past, course materials were delivered by post and correspondence with tutors via email. With the internet, the Open University began to offer a wider range of interactive educational experiences as well as faster correspondence with students via email. With the introduction of the computer and the internet in the late 20th century, e learning tools and delivery methods expanded. The first Mac in the 1980s enabled individuals to have computers in their homes, making it easier for them to learn about particular subjects and develop certain skill sets. Then, in the following decade, virtual learning environments began to truly thrive, with people gaining access to a wealth of online information and e learning opportunities. So, this is where we find ourselves now with the introduction of the personal computer. A major breakthrough took place in 1984 when Apple's Macintosh computer was introduced. It was first to offer better graphical and text support. Its unique mouse input also revolutionized how users interact with the machine. With its free HyperCard program, the Mac helped a generation of tech savvy teachers make their own software and tutorials for students. Commercial software companies were quick to develop computer based educational materials and the learning games as well. In the 1990s, the development of multimedia personal computer came with the CD-ROM drive, meaning that the device can display video synced with audio. Alongside CD-ROMs came Microsoft PowerPoint, a modern presentation software quickly embraced by lecturers, executives, teachers, and students. With the development of multimedia PC, it is important to note how the MPC relaxed the learning barrier for students. Using a multimedia computer, they were able to utilize video, audio, graphics, and animation programs so that they can better interact with the computer's interface. It was also during the early 90s that many schools delivering online only courses were established. The future of the internet as an education medium became certain. The world of e-learning was born 1999. In November 1999, Elliot Macy coined the word e-learning at his TechLearn conference at Disney World. It was the first time that the term was used in a professional context. Others in the industry have already used the term online learning, which points to the same concept. The term has always been used to refer to learning using the web or any other electronic medium. Professionals consider it as a type of distance learning since students were able to access materials and complete learning tasks even outside the classroom. The dot-com boom in the early 2000s. The World Wide Web became mainstream thanks to investors throwing money at anything web related between 1995 and 2000. CD-ROMs quickly became a thing of the past. This meant increased bandwidth for faster and much improved multimedia content, high speed internet technologies, including broadband and wireless LANs for faster connections, Bluetooth for short range connectivity to devices such as PH, phones and printers improved browser technologies for better user experience. In 2004, the ascendancy of Web 2.0. Web 2.0 was introduced a decade ago. The first the term was first coined by Darcy DiNucci in 1999 in her article Fragmented Future, but it wasn't until 2004 that the term took wing when Penn Source advocate Tim O'Reilly promoted the idea at the O'Reilly Media Conference. From the read only environment of Web 1.0, Web 2.0 promises a two-way conversation where users can contribute, collaborate, and create through several platforms like social media, blogs, wikis, and forums. Web 2.0 emphasizes on how we learn, how we interact with content online. In 2005, Adobe bought Macromedia and transformed it into Adobe Flash. It took off way too quickly like a rocket. Developers who worked with it discovered just how flexible Flash is. Flash didn't require a lot of bandwidth as older methods would have used. So it enabled users to embed and play back video easier and faster than before. Flash became an animation and authoring tool overnight, a tool so crucial at creating multimedia content. The same year brought us YouTube, arguably the world's most visited site for uploading or watching videos online. 2008, the beginning of the mobile web. The mobile web started just a few years ago. Smartphones were introduced. Internet enabled tablets came next, and you probably have witnessed the rest of the story. It's worth noting how Apple's iPod Touch, iPhone, and iPad lines helped transform the way developers create educational software, the way teachers teach, and the way students learn. The era of the mobile web has not ended yet. It has only just begun. 2010, the reign of HTML5. No other emerging technology has changed the way we interact with content online than HTML5. This latest evolution of HTML, implemented by CS53, CSS3, and JavaScript, opened up a host of game changing features. Compatibility with modern devices and browsers means wider user reach and device agnostic e learning content. Ability to detect device means content tailored to fit a learner's preferred device. ability to embed a rich media experience makes it a viable alternative to Flash, which not all mobile devices support. 2013, the introduction of Tin Can API, released on April 27, 2013, Tin Can API is the latest version of SCORM tasked to solve many issues that plagued the older versions. Since it's ready for adoption, e-learning experts highly recommend Tin Can API to accomplish the following: removal of the need for a browser, mobile learning, team based learning, cross domain functionality, simulations, or serious games. Definition of terms: the online learning environment relies on computers connected to the internet. By contrast, blended learning is a mix of face to face teaching and the online approach. Responsibility for learning shifts primarily to the learners. E learning refers to the online interaction between the student and the teacher. The student receives the training through an online medium. Open learning: learning that is not part of a formal course of instruction. Learners dip in and out of learning, choosing what, when, where, and how they study. Blended learning: learning which combines traditional face to face education with distance or open learning. Distance learning is understood and is often used as a synonym with online learning. It was initially introduced to attract students from all over the world. Distance learning: learning in which learners and instructors are not physically present in the same time and at the same place. The teacher's role is to guide learners using a variety of online strategies, provides them with clear instructions to accomplish the assignments or tasks that complement and ultimately accomplish the established course learning objectives. Benefits of the blended learning approach includes expanded knowledge, no boundaries, no restrictions, and more fun and cost effective. It has the potential to engage a variety of e-learning styles, more convenient and flexible on the part of the learner, reduces the amount of class time while providing a higher degree of accountability, helps learners more quickly apply new skills to their daily work. Concerns that arise with e learning: even given all the benefits of e learning, one cannot deny there are some drawbacks like isolation and health related concerns because some students may need interaction. Challenges: lack of access to needed hardware, software, and bandwidth by some learners. This happens in the country. Technology skill level is low for some learners. We still have to update for some learners. Technical support is inadequate, especially for teachers sometimes who are not really so well versed with the internet. May entail a cultural shift for both learners and teachers, and may not be easy to adopt, especially by some learners who are not used to independent learning. And now, with the COVID 19 pandemic, we have to rely on distance learning and we are forced to do independent learning. So, this comes very useful for us at this time.